Hello, my name is Jeffrey Altraki, and I'm with the Skill Oreilly Network. Um, what I'm doing is just reviewing something really cool that I saw on Netflix that I would like to share with you that I think you as well should watch on Netflix. It's called How to Fix a Drug Scandal. It is by far one of the most interesting things I've seen in a while. It revolves around two state hired crime lab chemists in different parts of Massachusetts who, during the same periods of time, for different reasons, messed up thousands and thousands and thousands of drug possession convictions. So it's for those of you who don't know, Massachusetts is sort of considered divided up into two different regions or whatever. That you have like East Boston, where like Amherst would be kind of like the capital. I mean, East Massachusetts, and then sort of like West Massachusetts, where Boston would be like the capital. Forgive my ignorance. I've only ever been to Boston and Cambridge. But anyway, so and they hire state chemists, and in the eastern Boston region there was Sonia, I think it was Sonia Farrak. She's white. She started working in 2003, and from 2003 to about 2013, she was stealing from the samples and getting high. And a lot of times she was doing that at work. So she was not only high when she was doing these samples, but she was taking from the samples, and therefore she was disrupting the samples and making them inadmissible in court. And so she was found out, I think, in about 2014. And then there was another chemist, kind of like on the other side of the state, who was basically rushing the samples through to appear as an overachiever to her hiring, to her bosses. So these two people were messing up the samples, and when they were found out, all the defense attorneys sort of perked up and said, "Wait a second! So everything they presided over is inadmissible." So there was a fight to sort of reverse a lot of their convictions by some of the top defense attorneys in the state. Anyway, that's how I understand it. Why it was interesting to me, I felt that, hey, this is a world I used to live in when I did journalism. I worked the crime. I did the crime for about 6 months. I did politics for about 6 months. I did education for about 8 months, and I was there for about 2 years. So, and when you work that kind of a job, you have a daily interaction with crime, law enforcement, politicians. Everything is sort of intricately woven. For me, it was in northern Nevada. So this is a documentary where the politics and crime and everything just sort of weave together, and it was I thought it was fascinating. It was a 3 or 4 part series. There were good and bad guys. I think that there was a lot of cover up by the state, and I think there were these defense attorneys who organized and really fought the thing. So I think if you had lived in Massachusetts during the time, you'd be familiar with that. But it's a really interesting look at the crime and law enforcement. I would give this 5 stars and wholeheartedly recommend it. So please get into this. It's a great distraction. It's a really good show.